Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Alaina, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning life and managing money. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the 7 money mistakes that I made in my 20s. These are 7 things that I did that I definitely have learned from, and I wanted to share them with you because I feel like we learn from each other's mistakes. So today I'm going to be talking about those 7 things that I did in my 20s that I instantly regretted. Mistake number 1 was leasing a car. So this isn't a mistake for everyone, but it was a mistake for myself and my husband. While we were engaged, we decided to lease a car because the monthly note was much cheaper. This car was just supposed to be my husband's car, and we didn't even think about the mileage restriction because we were only going to be driving it around the city. The problem is my car broke down soon after we leased the car, and we didn't have enough money to get my car fixed, which means we only had access to one car, which was the lease car for 6 months. We went over our mileage requirement pretty soon afterwards, and by the time we turned in the lease, we didn't have enough money to cover the mileage overage. That was about $5,000, and since we didn't have it, we were forced to roll that money over into the car and purchase the car. So we ended up paying a 3-year lease on the car and paying a 5-year car note when we had to purchase it. So we spent 8 years paying for the same car. We basically bought the car twice. It was a big mistake, and we definitely learned from it. Mistake number 2, taking out the max amount on my student loans. When I decided to go back to school in my 20s for my master's degree, I had about $20,000 in student loan debt for my undergrad degree. I went to college in state. I had a partial scholarship, so my monthly note after graduating from college was about $150 a month. Not too bad. The mistake was when I decided to go back for my master's. I took out the max on my student loans, and I really took out way more money than I actually needed. I didn't even think about what my monthly note was going to be or the interest on it. I went from having about $20,000 in student loans to over $75,000, and now my husband and I's student loan balance is more than the cost of our house. It was definitely a mistake. Mistake number 3 was getting a credit card while still in college. While I was walking on campus during my freshman year of college, I was approached to sign up for a credit card. They were giving away t-shirts and $5 gift cards, and I just decided to get one on the spot. I didn't even think about the fact that I didn't have a job or any resources to actually pay down the balance on this card. I just wanted a gift card for lunch. By the time I graduated, I had $25,000 in credit card debt, and this is before I even had a real full-time job. It took me years to pay this off, and it caused so much unnecessary stress. I always say that a $5 gift card cost me $25,000. Mistake number 4 is closing a credit card with an open balance. Mistake number 4 is a mistake that I made with the same credit card. So I got so angry with the credit card company that I owed $25,000 to that I decided that I was just going to close the credit card. I thought that I was hurting them by no longer using their credit card and closing my account. But it hurt me so much more. Closing a credit card that still has a balance on it hurts your score, and it hurts your credit history. My credit score dropped by 45 points, and it took me about 6 months to get it back on track. In that moment, I realized that I can't make solid financial decisions while I'm angry or while I'm upset. Mistake number 5 was underestimating the cost of delivery and maternity leave. This mistake really ties to my lack of research during a critical time in my life. At this time, I was pregnant with our first daughter, and instead of doing proper research on the cost of the hospital stay and the maternity leave pay with my company, I just assumed that I had saved enough. I found out around my 8th month that my check was going to be cut by 25% during my maternity leave, and that we were going to have to come out of pocket for about $5,000 in hospital fees. I was completely unprepared, and my husband ended up having to take on a part-time job to cover us during this time. I was so caught up in the frills and the prettiness of having a baby that I really underestimated the cost of having a baby. This was definitely something we learned from. Mistake number 6 was purchasing a luxury handbag. So before I even had a budget in place or $500 in savings, I decided that I was going to purchase a $800 Louis Vuitton bag. I was not financially ready for this type of purchase, and it was definitely reckless spending. And looking back, I can see that I was seeking validation and happiness in material things, and I thought that this would make me feel like an adult, which it definitely did not. I can't say that it was a bad purchase because I still wear the bag today, but it was a mistake because I wasn't in the right place financially or mentally when I made it. One of the biggest things that I learned from this mistake, though, is not to emotionally spend money. I had this as a major issue in my 20s, and I'm very happy that I've learned from it and I don't look at material things the way that I used to. And mistake number 7 was purchasing a luxury car. So this is basically the same mistake as number 6, just in a much bigger form. As a college graduation gift to myself, I decided to purchase a silver Mercedes-Benz. There was a couple of issues with this purchase. The first thing was I only took into account the car note. I looked at the car note amount and I saw that I could cover it, which was barely cover it, but I didn't even consider the higher insurance costs or the maintenance costs of the car. After the warranty expired on this car, the car maintenance was a nightmare. It broke down every other month and the average repair cost was $1,700. This was awful for a girl in her 20s because I didn't have it. And this led to my car being parked for 6 months, which also led to us going over the mileage on the lease car from mistake number 1. So all in all, one thing led to another, and it was all one big mistake. So that's the 7 money mistakes from my 20s. I definitely feel like this could be a series because I have so many other mistakes that I have learned from. I know most people look back on their mistakes with regret, but I've learned so much from each one of these things, and it definitely helped me to grow on my financial journey. Do you have any additional things that you have learned from, any mistakes that you did? Definitely leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys.